Alright, this is Mr. Gillum, and today we're going to learn about two laws, and these are logic laws, the law of detachment and the law of syllogism. And basically we're going to learn deductive and inductive reasoning, and what that's all about. So let's take a look here. The law of detachment, this is like deductive reasoning, okay? If the conditional is a true conditional, let's see if I can do this right. If the conditional is a true conditional, then if P is true, Q must be true. This is what the law of detachment says. All right, and it's easier if you see an example. So it says if it is a car, then it has a steering wheel. All right, well we know that that's a true statement. If it is a car, then it has a steering wheel. Right? It's a true if then true conditional. The hypothesis is it is a car. If that is true, then your conclusion, it has a steering wheel, is also true. All right, and that's called the law of detachment. All right, and I got plenty of examples on here too, if that one isn't the best one. So if it is a car, then it has a steering wheel. If it's a car, it must be true that it has a steering wheel. All right, another example. If an animal is a dog, then it has a tail. So what we could say is if Dougie is a dog, then what we could conclude about Dougie is Dougie has a tail. All right, and this is the law of detachment, it's deductive reasoning. Okay, so if it is a true conditional, as far as true, and we have something that meets the criteria of the hypothesis, then we know through the law of detachment that if Dougie is a dog, then Dougie also has a tail. All right, the law of detachment, it's real simple. Okay, if an angle is obtuse, then its measure is between 90 and 80 degrees, 180 degrees. If angle ABC is obtuse, so if this is a true conditional, true and true, if angle ABC is obtuse, then what we can conclude about angle ABC is that it is, angle ABC is between 90 and 180 degrees. All right, this is called the law of detachment. And if you have a true conditional, then if you're given a true hypothesis, then you know for sure that it will fit the conclusion of the conditional. All right, the law of syllogism, kind of the same thing, except for it's a little different type of reasoning. It says if you have two conditionals, kind of like the transitive property, if P then Q and if Q then R, and they're both true, that means that you can go from P all the way to R. So if you have P, then you know R is also true. All right, for example, if I do my homework, then I'll get better grades. And if I get better grades, then my parents will be happy. The law of syllogism says, if I do my homework, the first hypothesis, then my parents will be happy. All right, so it's almost like the transitive property. When you do, A equals B and B equals C, then A has to equal C. Way back in algebra, when you did that, the law of syllogism is similar to that. Not the same thing, but it's similar as far as if P is true, if this conditional is true and this conditional is true, then we know that the conditional if P then R is true as well. All right, so let's just do another example of that. It says if the car has gas, then you can start it. If you can start the car, then you can drive it to the store. So what can we conclude about the car? Well, we could say if the car has gas, then we can drive it to the store. All right, the law of syllogism. So kind of like the transitive property, not the transitive property, but it's kind of similar to it. And that's it for today. So I only have one example of the law of syllogism, but I think you get the idea. If the car has gas, then you can start it. That means if the car has gas, then you can drive it to the store. All right. So that's it for today. The law of detachment, the law of syllogism. The law of detachment is deductive reasoning. The law of syllogism is more inductive reasoning. And that's it for today.